Amor Fati, or the love of fate, is a central concept in Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to accept life as it unfolds, without resistance or regret. The idea behind Amor Fati is both simple and profound. It means not only accepting what happens to us but embracing every event in our lives, whether we perceive it as good or bad. In life, it is common to struggle against circumstances, to wish that things were different, or to regret what has been lost. However, this attitude of resistance and regret only adds to our suffering. Stoicism offers a different perspective, one that invites us to view every event as an opportunity for growth and learning. Amor Fati urges us to say yes to life in all its complexity and challenges. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, touches on this idea in his Meditations, where he encourages us to see every obstacle as the way, every trial as a chance to demonstrate our virtue. By adopting Amor Fati, we do not merely tolerate difficulties, we welcome them with gratitude because they are part of our destiny, shaping our character and wisdom. Amor Fati does not mean being passive or blindly accepting everything that happens in our lives. On the contrary, it is about adopting an active attitude towards events, choosing to see the beauty in fate, and recognizing that every occurrence has a place in the natural order of the world. This perspective radically changes the way we approach difficult situations. Instead of seeing them as misfortunes or injustices, we perceive them as integral parts of our personal journey. For example, if you lose your job, rather than lamenting this loss and feeling bitter, Amor Fati invites you to see this situation as an opportunity to explore new possibilities, redefine your life goals, or develop skills you might not have considered otherwise. It's a way to transform what could be a failure into a step towards a more fulfilling life. In this way, Amor Fati is an invitation to let go of the illusion that we can control every aspect of our lives and to embrace the fact that what happens, happens for a reason. This is not resignation, but an act of acceptance, an act of love towards our own existence. When we live according to Amor Fati, we stop wasting our energy fighting the inevitable and start living in harmony with reality. To fully embrace Amor Fati, it is essential to practice gratitude for everything that comes into our lives and to remember that every event, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity to grow. This requires practice and reflection, but over time, this attitude can transform our perception of the world and bring us deep serenity. Moreover, Amor Fati teaches us to live without fear of the future. By accepting whatever comes our way, we free ourselves from the anxiety of the unknown. We understand that everything, whether joy or sorrow, success or failure, is a part of our path. In embracing this, we no longer live in fear of what might happen but in the strength of knowing that we can face whatever life throws at us with grace and resilience. Consider the story of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was born a slave and lived most of his life in bondage. Despite the harshness of his circumstances, he embraced his fate and found freedom in his mind and spirit. He taught that true freedom comes not from external conditions but from within. This is the essence of Amor Fati, finding peace not by changing the world but by changing our relationship with it. Amor Fati also encourages us to view setbacks and hardships as gifts, as opportunities to develop virtues like patience, courage, and wisdom. It shifts our focus from wishing for a life free of difficulties to finding meaning in every challenge. When we embrace our fate, we realize that everything that happens to us is part of a larger, coherent whole, even if we cannot see the full picture at the moment. The practice of Amor Fati also fosters resilience. By loving our fate, we cultivate the mental strength to endure and even thrive in adversity. We become less fragile, less easily disturbed by life's inevitable ups and downs. This mindset allows us to maintain our equilibrium, no matter what happens, and to approach life's uncertainties with a sense of calm assurance. In conclusion, Amor Fati is much more than a mere philosophical concept, it is a way of life. By adopting the love of fate, we learn to live each moment with acceptance and love, to see in every circumstance a step forward on our path of personal development. It is a way of living in peace with ourselves and the world, of viewing every challenge not as a barrier, but as an opportunity. Amor Fati invites us to welcome life in all its richness and complexity, with an open heart and a mind ready to learn. Through this practice, we can find a deeper connection to the world around us and a greater sense of purpose in the life we are given.